Hey, what's up everyone? It's Luke. Hope you're all having a swell week. This week we're talking about how we feel about passing and how it affects us. And I don't really get read as mail by the public often. And when I do, I'm just like, score. It feels really good when it happens. But yeah, it's not something that happens to me that often. But recently, I've noticed that if I introduce myself as Luke, or if other people introduce me as Luke and use male pronouns, people don't question it anymore. It's not that people are like, what? No. It's just that sometimes people would be like, hang on, your name's what? Luke? And just be very unsure, I guess, because they didn't want to offend me if I hadn't said that. But now, yeah, if I'm introduced as Luke, people kind of take it, and that feels really good. They assume I'm much younger than I am. For example, I was at a family gathering the other week, and when introduced as Luke by my parents, they were like, oh, so what year are you in at school? How are you, young man, and stuff. And so that's interesting, to be perceived as like young, I guess. But it is what it is, and I'm like I'm not unhappy about it. I'm quite content to be seen as a 14-year-old. 14-year-olds have a lot of fun, so I'm good with that. But yeah, I think being read as male is an interesting thing, because when it happens like just by strangers, it's not that I'm taken aback, because like I want to be seen as male in society, but sometimes I just don't necessarily register it until afterwards, and then I'm like, oh, that shop person called me buddy or sir or mate. And I mean, mate, people call people mate a lot, but it's generally towards guys from like shop people. Yeah. So I like it when people read me as male. I like it when they read me as a 14-year-old boy, but I would prefer it if at some point they would not assume that I was quite so young. I don't necessarily want to be seen as my own age. Well, I mean, I do. I think everyone does. But, like, it would just be nice to feel like people just saw me as who I was in the street. Because I don't think that happens all the time. But yeah, I think it happens more now than it did before. And it feels really good. And I like it. So that's how it affects me. It affects me positively when I'm read correctly, but I try not to let it affect me negatively when I'm not, because it's not anyone else's fault. It's just one of those things. And then in all my circles, like at uni and all my friends and my family, people pretty much gender me correctly and name me correctly all the time. In the past like month, I've been named wrong like twice maybe, and people have used female pronouns for me I think once, and it's people who know and they correct themselves, but like people have known me for a while, so I see that it's annoying, but like it's not their fault, it's not anyone's fault, it just is what it is, and I'm looking forward to the day when it's not an issue for me. Yeah. So I will catch you all later. Have a great week. See ya.